Good afternoon to everyone. Good morning for all participants. Between Karen here and myself, we are super excited to join this webinar, and we will start with a short agenda. We will give a short introduction about this webinar. What are you going to see here today? Then we will introduce Atera for the first timers who don't know Atera first. So welcome to the family, and we will tell you a little bit about Atera as an all-in-one solution that will streamline your IT operations. Then we will jump ahead into AI Copilot, our technician-facing AI capabilities. Then we will give the stage to Karen to demonstrate and walk you through IT Autopilot, our end-user facing AI. And then we will conclude with a Q&A. Stay with us all the way to the end of this session. We promise there is a big surprise in the end. Yep. And let's start. So as I already introduced, my name is Gilad, and this is Karen with me. We are the APAC Business Partner Manager who managing the APAC region all the way from India to Australia. Thank you so much for joining today. So let's talk a little bit about Atera. What Atera is. Atera was established in 2016, and since then, we've been working on catering the IT operations for you. Whether you are an MSP that giving to your customer an IT services, as well as for IT departments, we understand how much IT services, how much keeping the upkeep and the uptime for your networks is important. In the past 10 years, we have been following the IT team's requests and created our roadmap that Atera will provide the best way and the best solution to streamline all of your IT operations. And we realized a simple thing. Why should we, as an IT team, jump from one solution to another when you can consolidate everything into one single pane of glass, into all-in-one solution? And this is how we created Atera. With Atera, we created an all-in-one solution that's consolidating all of your solution needs, all of your IT operation into one window. And out of our 14,000 happy customers serving over 120 countries, we've been serving all type of verticals, all the way from football club in the UK, Leeds United, through hotel to the Kempinski hotels chain, to universities, Oxford universities, and everywhere in between. We are happy to cater all type of verticals, whether it's retail, banking and finance, hospitals, and MSPs. So what Atera is? Atera, as I already said, it's an all-in-one solution that's consolidating all of your IT needs in one place. We understand that when your end users or end customers are raising a ticket, it doesn't matter whether it's a printer issue, or I need this to be solved and that to be solved. Eventually they have a problem and they want their problem to go away, because every second that counts, that their problem is not being solved, it's a more problem for the companies, it's more problem for your customers, and they're not happy. So we provide in one place both ticketing, patch management, remote monitoring and management for your team, providing all of those solutions, whether it's creating reporting, asset management, pushing out patches, as well as some integrations. We want to keep your technicians in one place, streamline all the way from the ticket that is being generated through monitoring the issue and giving the quickest troubleshoot, slashing your SLAs. Because eventually this is what matters. We understand your pain and we are happy to accommodate this. It's important to stress out that Atera is a cloud-based solution, meaning this is agent-based. So with Atera, you can deploy agent on those devices and start getting all the feedback of all the information, whether it's hardware, performance, or on the application level. we got you covered. And we will give you all the information, not only to understand what the problem is as soon as possible, but also give you the capability to solve it from the back end. It's important to stress out that behind all of these happy customers, we have one key differentiator, is our AI. We have launched a couple years ago a strategic partnership with Microsoft. What we have done, we have borrowed OpenAI Brain. We took this Rolls-Royce, brought it into Atera, and we stripped it down from its cover. Instead of this cover, we added a new cover, which is our 10 years of troubleshooting and solving IT problems. Together with the powers of OpenAI and our knowledge, our database, all the best practices, how to streamline the IT operation, we created a super powerful AI capability. And with our Copilot, we are able to take your existing technicians and make them into super technicians. Doesn't matter whether they are professional help desk technician or service desk technician, all the way to newbies, we will help them streamline it. How? We are able, with a Copilot, to take actionable solution and help you with script generation, sentiment report. When your customers are raising a ticket, we're able to give you the sentiment, as well as with summarizing tickets. Why spend all the time about reading a ticket when you can just get a summary? We were happy to help you also with creating knowledge-based articles out of the tickets you are solving, and so much more. And it's important to say that we created this brain which stays within the Atera environment, and no information that is being gathered, you will be teaching the AI model or will be shared with Microsoft. So we are just using their brain, but putting these very powerful capabilities of troubleshooting and streamline AI capabilities, all in the closed environment of Atera. And I want to move into the next part where I can demonstrate the capabilities of AI Copilot. So bear with me. Okay, welcome to Atera platform. And today, I guess, when your IT technician are trying to push out script, it takes time. Why does it take time? Because they either need to learn the syntax or they have to look it up on Reddit, on internet communities, not sure sometimes how proof saved or save for use those specific scripts, and you never know what they put there in a code. So we created our own Copilot script generator that helps you to use your own simple language to streamline any script you would like. And let me show it live. The first step would be obviously to tell our Copilot script generator what type of script you want to generate. Again, as I said, you don't have to know the syntax. You don't need to know PowerShell or Batch. You can just streamline it and shoot it out. So in this time, let's try delete temporary folder. This is a script that we're often being asked to be performed by our customers. So only what I need to do is to ask it delete temp folders. I don't have to explain what, where, when. I click on generate. In a matter of seconds, it created the script. Now, not only you can create the script, let's say that the script is broken and something is not right about the script. So I add here vanilla ice. And what you can do, you can just click on fix it, and it will know to fix it and see the broken part and clean it. What it will save you is a lot of time looking for a specific script or specific error of your script online. This could be very time consuming and sometimes take up to a few days. And you can share with us in the chat those situations where you had to look for a specific script or repair a script and it took forever. And you don't want to trust the internet and you don't want to find this one of a blue moon case. So you can use it here now. Not only you can generate a script, you can test it out live. So what I can do, I can choose a device and run this script live, see that it's working before I'm going to push this script out into the network. As well, this is something that is really cool. You can add whatever parts you would like to it from working on the script. So let me show you. I can add anything in my own simple language and add it to the script. So please add a new folder to C drive, name Karen Know It All, because she does. And I click enter, and it created another path of the script. So try to imagine here that you can take your entire scripting operation, hours after hours of working on scripts, looking for them online, copy and pasting them without the actual knowledge whether it's going to work out or not, and just streamline it to a process that takes less than a minute. This is a real time saver that can make your technician into superheroes. Even if they're trying to just learn how to work with script, that can be their best guide. So if you're looking for another IT or help desk technician to add to the team to streamline it, why not just using Atera to just make all of your IT technician into superheroes? And with this story, I want to take you straight to the ticketing. So as I said earlier, when your end customers are raising a ticket, it could be anything. It can be my printer doesn't connect, slow connectivity, the world is on fire, and they expect you, the heroes of the day, to save their day. They don't care how it's being made. They don't care about your backend. They just want their problems to go away. And we understand this. So what we are trying to do here with Atera is, one, keep you on the one window where not only you can read and manage your tickets, but you can also troubleshoot them. And the most important part is use our AI capability to streamline this entire process. And instead of what takes 7 hours for responding and resolving a ticket, could be streamlined all the way to a matter of minutes. It's important to say that we ran a review comparing our non-AI Copilot users to our AI users in 2024. And the results were quite remarkable. We realized that with AI Copilot, we are able to save you 10 times faster of your work. So imagine if your help desk technician can solve and respond to 10 tickets a day, it could be up to 100 tickets a day. And how do we do this? Let me show you live. So here we see that Karen raised a ticket. She tried probably before this session to print some pages. So she raised the ticket, help, my printer does not work. The regular way would be to click on the ticket and start reading all the conversation between the end user and seeing what's the problem, maybe raising them a phone call and asking them, hey, could you reset your computer? What's wrong? And by the time you were able to reach out to them, and by the time you're able to solve this problem, it can take up to 24 hours. Imagine what it's like to solve a problem, a printer problem, in 24 hours. And this is the average numbers. I did not make them up. So let me show you with our Copilot. You just, with one click, you click on Copilot, and it's going to summarize the ticket. And with a matter of seconds, it will give you the summary of the ticket, what was the correspondence, what is the problem. It's able to take initiate first step of diagnosis, and you get it all boiled down with less than a minute, prepared for you to solve it. This is a really, really, really time-saving task. And here, look at the outcome. sometimes takes me more time to explain what's happening rather just to get the outcome. So with a matter of seconds, I got here, who is the user? What's the issue? There is a printer connectivity problem on the 7th floor, and some other information that's going to help me. Who is the technician? I see Alex was assigned here. There are some clear instructions. It's telling me what to do. But not only it's just giving me direction what to do, it's giving me a clear and actionable solution. You see those icons, so I can click on all of them and perform those actions and troubleshoot this problem all the way from Atera. I don't have to initiate an attended remote session. I don't have to call them and ask them what's the problem, to walk them through the printer problem. I can just sit here at my cozy chair at the IT office and perform those actions. On the same time, I can run diagnosis. I can do everything I want from here using the powerful AI and our agent that is already deployed on the device. So we have what is called this universal copilot. From anywhere in Atera, any module, what I can do, I can start a conversation with Atera, with the AI copilot, and initiate any action on the back end of the device. So let's go and check Karen's computer and see what's the problem. What I need to do is pretty simple. I'm just going to ask to run all printer checks. Then I look for Karen computer and click send. With a matter of like 40 seconds, without telling the device what type of printer issues I need to check, compatibility, what printer is even connected to the device, I get it all fast and streamlined. It's running right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different specific printer checks to check what's wrong with the printer. In less than a minute, it can give me an overview of what's the situation. And it shows me actually the printer checks are complete and everything seems to be tip-top shape. But let's say the Copilot was able to realize that the driver is missing. So what I can tell it to install the driver, that's easy. I don't have to go there. I don't have to do anything by myself. So I will tell it, install driver. And again, I don't have to take a compatibility test to check what driver is it, what is the update. I'm telling it to install the driver. It realized there is a driver that is existing, but it's asking me if I would like to reinstall it. I'm clicking on it, and voila. With a matter of one click, I was able to install a driver on Karen's computer that will streamline and maybe fix the problem if this driver was outdated. Now, take this action and multiply it times infinite. Any problem that you were able to do on a device, you can do with Copilot because it's using this agent. Resetting passwords, relogging people that are locked out of their 365, performance issues, top most consuming disk, clear cache. All of those greedy, soul-crushing, mundane works could be solved with our AI capabilities. Super powerful. It's going to streamline your IT operations, going to save you time. And eventually, time means money. And we understand it, and we want to give you this powerful tool. I'm going to conclude my AI Copilot session with saying this. AI Copilot is our AI capabilities for your technicians, for the technician facing troubleshooting. And now I'm going to give the stage to Karen for showing and demonstrating how IT Autopilot, our end user facing AI, could help you solve the problem from that end.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gilad, for your great presentation. So basically, as Gilad said, up until now, we've seen the Copilot capabilities, meaning Copilot that is acting on your behalf, that is serving as your second hand, that is here to take actions on your behalf, to minimize your manual work, to maximize your productivity as IT professionals. But what if Atera could also help your customers, your employees, with saving their time, with helping their tickets to be solved much faster, right? So this is where our latest and greatest release, Autopilot, is coming into play. Basically, the way that we like to look at our Autopilot is as if it's an extension of your IT staff. It's a 24/7 first-tier support engineer that is virtual and will reply with a constant support and with immediate support. So basically, the whole concept of our Autopilot is that it's not only going to provide a one-time response, but it's actually going to provide a continuous resolution until a ticket is being completely solved from A to Z. So same concept as the Copilot, there is an Atera agent that is installed on the devices that are managed by your end users, and therefore the Autopilot can take actual actions in order to solve those tickets. So again, it's going to provide a continuous resolution until we make sure that those first tier tickets are being completely resolved. What it means is that the Autopilot behaves as the first line of defense. Instead of you having to take care of each one of those tickets that you have in your queue, now the Autopilot will be able to take care of all of those first tier, basically reducing anywhere between 25% to 40% of the volume of the tickets that you're going to take care of and being able to solve it on its own. So that's the power of our Autopilot. In addition to this, our Autopilot is context aware. So what it means is that you can train it to behave the way that you want it to behave. You can teach it your tech stack, your processes, your language, your terminology, and then it's going to act and behave exactly as another member in the team that is here to support and to operate as needed. Last thing to notice here is that our Autopilot is actually omni-channel, which means that whether your users or your customers are used to submit tickets via email or by Slack or via Teams or whatever it is that they're using in order to submit tickets, our Autopilot can integrate into those tools, enabling them to continue the way that they're used to and just maximize the productivity on those tools as well. Basically, from a value perspective, we can see that there is value of the Autopilot on 3 different levels. The first level would be on the end user side. This is pretty much self-explanatory, but we can all understand that as we have a constant AI that is sitting on your end users' devices, the satisfaction level of your end users is increasing significantly. Gone are the days where they need to wait 5 hours, 8 hours, sometimes more than a day until a ticket is resolved. Now, with our Autopilot, a ticket will be solved immediately within seconds. All of those issues of someone that needs to reset a password, or he can't watch a video, or he needs to reset his printer spooler, or he needs to delete temp files. You know those issues more than me. There's a lot of mundane and repetitive tasks out there that currently are just consuming your time. And now, instead of waiting for hours, those users will be able to solve it much faster. Another value that we see on the end user side is that now, after integrating Autopilot into your ticketing tool, we've seen that the end users' number of tickets that they have created was actually increased. And the reason for this is now because they know that there is a virtual agent as the first line of defense that replies, they're not as shy to submit tickets. Basically, up until now, that they're knowing that there's a human behind the screen. Sometimes they're a bit afraid to submit tickets that they believe that they should have known the answer for, and now they know that they can have a reply much faster, and therefore they're asking anything that comes into mind, whether it's internally with regarding internal information in the company, or any other foolish question that they feel that they should have known. On the IT team's value, of course, that we can all understand that this is an extra layer of assistance to your team, right? Instead of you, again, wasting your time on those mundane tickets that no one really likes to reset the password, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, you guys, as the humans in the team, you will have more time to focus on bigger, strategic, high-value tasks, second-tier tickets, and enabling the autopilot to reduce significantly the value of the first-tier tickets, as it will take care of it on your behalf. And of course, this whole efficiency is impacting the whole organization, enabling the management to spend less money on maximizing productivity. With that, let's jump over to the real deal here, and we're gonna see how it works in live. So I'm gonna share my screen. Perfect. So welcome to Atera's Autopilot portal. As we can see, it greets me with hello. In this case, let's pretend as if I'm an end user and I'm facing an issue and I need to raise a ticket. So I have opened this portal, and now I have here Gustavo, which is my AI autopilot assistant, of course, that you can name it as you wish. And let's say that I have an issue that I assume that most of you encounter pretty often. I can't open a PDF file. So as we said before, there is an Atera agent installed on the end user device, and therefore it's gonna check two things. First of all, it's gonna check if there's already a tool that will help me to open a PDF file without my awareness as a user. If there is no software for me to open the PDF, the autopilot is gonna offer for me a software to install automatically, independently on my own. So the idea here is that it will liberate myself and the IT teams from dealing with, from either waiting a lot of hours until it's being replied, or the IT teams from dealing with this kind of ticket, as it would be able to solve it on its own alone. As we can see, while Gustavo is analyzing what can he offer me, we see that automatically a ticket is already being created. What it means is that there is a ticket documented in place for later today, if the IT teams would like to log into the ticketing tool and they want to see which tickets have been submitted by who, everything is documented in place. So you can go over those tickets and see what's the status, where did it stop, if it was resolved. So you're already going to see that it was resolved by the autopilot, and then you can just move on with your day-to-day tasks that you have in place. So let's give it a few more seconds to analyze which software it can offer me. Now, important to note, and a question that may be raised, is how do we decide which softwares to enable the autopilot to offer me as a user, right? So basically, of course, that with all the technology and all of the innovation, we still want to put some boundaries in place, right? So we enable you guys to define, you as the admins, as the technicians, to define which softwares you enable your autopilot to offer to your end users. Okay, so you define the boundaries, you define the knowledge base that they're going to read from, and based on this, the autopilot is going to offer me offers. As we can see, Gustavo has done the analysis, and now it looks like I'm missing Adobe Acrobat Reader on my device. So not only that he's telling me that it's missing, but he's also offering me the actual button where all I need to do right now as a user is to go ahead, click on the button, install Adobe Acrobat Reader, and move on with my life. I waited maybe 2 or 3 minutes instead of waiting for a few hours until it would be viewed and analyzed and replied by an actual team member. So that's the first example of a classic first-tier ticket that is immediately replied and completely resolved by our autopilot. Let's take another example, another common example that I believe that you're facing pretty often. I'm locked out of Outlook, forgot my password. I think that this is one of the most common issues that we're facing, someone that needs to reset the password, that he's locked out of the computer, and now he needs to relog. So why would you guys waste your time on those tasks while Gustavo here can just reset my Azure ID with a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds that we have waited. So as we can see, I found a way to reset your Azure ID password. Could you please confirm if you'd like me to proceed with resetting your password? Now, again, I, as an end user, all I need to do is to click the reset Azure ID password, done. I waited 10 seconds. I solved completely on my own with the autopilot the issue that I was facing. No downtime on my side. Imagine what would it be if I would have to wait 5 hours until I'm resetting my password. Throughout those 5 hours, I cannot work, right? Because I can't open my Outlook. I can't answer emails. I'm basically limited with the capacity of what I can do. So imagine the time that it saves and the efficiency that it drives within your company. Let's take one last example as another classic first tier. Let's say help. What's the guest Wi-Fi in the office? So as you can see, you can feed the autopilot, as we said before, you can train it to behave as you want it to behave. You will feed it with your internal knowledge base articles, and therefore it will also be able to provide me those internal information that potentially no one should have known without autopilot. So in this case, thank you very much, Gustavo, for providing me the information. I can move on and log into Wi-Fi. So we can understand how efficient this is. We can basically see that from now on, basically for all of those first-year tickets, those users will not need to wait more than a few minutes until their ticket is completely resolved, and there's an ongoing conversation here until it makes sure it resolves the issue. Now, as we said, the autopilot will solve around 150 common scenarios of first-tier tickets. But what if a user is facing a more challenging issue that the autopilot will not be able to solve on its own? Let's pretend that in this case, my computer is running slow. So when my computer is running slow, there is a need for more analysis, for more investigation, to run health checks and diagnostics on my computer to see what's the reason, what's the source for the computer to run slow. So in this case, I'm providing you a sneak peek. It will run the initial analysis as if it's a human that runs the first tier analysis, but then it will escalate it to a team member in the team to take it from this point onwards, right? So let's pretend it was escalated to a team member. Now you, as the staff, you can go over to the tickets that you have in place. If you're gonna open the ticket, so you can see that the autopilot has provided a summary of the issue. So what it means is that even whenever the autopilot will not be able to solve an issue completely on its own from A to Z, it will still help you with acceleration of solving the ticket, because it will already provide me an internal summary of why was this ticket escalated, what was the work that was done so far, what diagnostics it performed, as if it's a first year that writes those notes manually, and what are the recommended next steps for me as a second tier technician right now. So I, as a technician, all I need to do is to pick it up from this point and solve this ticket. So it's not like I'm starting the ticket from scratch. It's still providing a lot of insights and information for me to solve the ticket much faster. Again, the whole mission and the whole goal of our either co-pilot or autopilot, as you can see, is to minimize your manual work, to maximize your productivity and efficiency, to make sure that both you guys on a technician perspective and on the end user perspective are utilizing your time in the best way possible. Just so you can understand the emphasis of our AI, we can jump over to the, I just realized that I forgot to share my screen to this tab. So I'll just repeat myself again for a few minutes. Basically, as we said, let me just repeat myself. We said that whenever there is a ticket that will not be able to be resolved automatically and alone with our autopilot, so it's going to be escalated to the technicians. Now I'm in my ticketing tool. I can see all of my tickets that I have in place. And I as a technician right now, I can open a ticket and I can see the summary that the autopilot has provided me. So as I said, this is the internal summary that the autopilot will provide. It's going to act as if an actual human has provided this note with information of why this ticket was escalated, what was the work that was done so far, and the recommended next steps for me as a technician. So this is where I will pick it up from that point as a technician, and I will contact the end user and I will solve it from here. In terms of the efficiency of the AI, so we can see that in terms of the performance statistics that we're analyzing, Atera is constantly monitoring the way that you're working, the activity that you're doing, and what could be done better. So we can also see that out of 730 total tickets that you had in place, the AI assisted in more than 600 tickets and was able to completely solve it on its own with more than half of the tickets. So you can see the efficiency, you can see how much volume of tickets it will reduce from your queue and how much efficiency it will drive within your company. And this is exactly what we're here to do, to make sure that we're constantly looking for ways for you to work better and not as hard as you're working right now. Perfect.
Okay.
So with that,
Go ahead, Karen.
As Gilad promised at the beginning of the session, we are here to offer you a special price for Atera, especially for you guys as the webinar attendees. We are basically our local partners, Connex and ITCG and Shivami and Ask4Key. They're going to contact you within the next few days to initiate those Atera discussions. We are more than welcome you to jump on calls and to start even a Atera trial. And for whoever signs an Atera deal and came through this webinar is promised a special offering.
Great. And we are going to move now into the Q&A session. And let's start with a few questions that were raised in the Q&A. So I will start with the first one. Jose Thomas is asking, how is your experience in getting certification from CISOs of clients? And we have a very positive experience, and we get it approved because of two reasons. The first reason is Atera, as well as our AI capabilities, are 100% compliant to the most strict and rigorous standards in the world, whether it's from the EU or United States. We provide AI capabilities to financials and healthcare verticals and customers. We are, whether we are SOC 2 compliant to ISO and all the necessaries, we are taking all the necessary actions with our CISO in order to create an environment that not the customer's information is being abused or shared, as well as our powerful AI is not being used for malicious acts. Which leads me to the second part, is we created a pre-approved guardrails that create a safe usage for AI, autopilot, and copilot, which will also answer, I think, questions. And let me explain. The first step is, as I said, Atera language model, our AI copilot and IT autopilot models are not being shared with Microsoft. It's in a closed environment, and we do not accumulate all your users and IT relevant troubleshooting information and share it to train the model. So whatever happens in your environment stays in your environment. The second thing is about the interface and usability. You as an admin can set up what type of scripts or processes you want to allow the copilot and autopilot to perform or not, as well as who or what team or who from your technician will be able to use those capabilities. And the most important part is Autopilot as well as Copilot are not abusing the system. So if there are specific procedures, let's say reset the password. So let's say Karen is launching the customer portal. She's logging in and says, my friend Gilad wants to reset his password. It will not help her reset the password. It's using the same procedures that will be for the authentication, whether for the Entra ID or your local 365, and the same MFA or two-factor authentication process will happen. It cannot skip it. It's only just using it to streamline it. So instead of a technician to initiate this process, it will happen automatically, but it cannot skip those. So let's say if you presetted that a reset password means that the end user will receive a reset password to his cell phone or to his email, that will be the same process. You cannot ask the autopilot to reset the password and send you the password in the customer portal. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Gilad. I will read some other questions that we have in the chat box. There is a question from Nick about how is this being launched. I'm assuming that it is referring to the autopilot, and is the autopilot requires any cost? So first of all, yes, the autopilot and the copilot are an add-ons of Atera. Basically, in terms of general pricing, because I see that also there's another question of how is the licensing working. Atera is shifting the whole mindset around pricing. We're enabling you, in terms of Atera core platform, we're not limiting you to the number of devices and agents that you're deploying. You can deploy as many agents that you want, as Atera is priced per technician, meaning, again, no limitation to the number of agents. The Copilot and the Autopilot are add-ons, and we can discuss this further also through your partners that are gonna reach out to you in order to discuss it into commercials.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I want to iterate it. I see that also Tharanga raised this question, how the licensing work. So unlike any of our competitors, our pricing is per technician. It's important to stress this out. What it means eventually, that instead of paying per endpoint monitored, let's say you monitor 500 endpoint, we will not limit you to how many endpoints, meaning we will not charge you per how many endpoints are being monitored, but per technician. We have a disruptive pricing model, which is pricing per technician. So if you need access for 3 IT technicians to Atera, we will charge you per 3 technicians per year, rather than per how many endpoints you're monitoring, which giving you the 2 important values. 1, flexibility. You can grow from 500 endpoints to 1,000 endpoints. It doesn't matter to us. Nothing will change in matter of the pricing. And 2, predictability and budget cost. Instead of monitoring only some of your endpoint, you can monitor your entire network. It does not affect of your pricing, and I can promise you it will make your CFO and CEO happy. Any other questions?
I got another question. If we are also supporting Macs. So the answer is yes. Atera supports all 3 OSs, Windows, Macs, and Linux. So you can go ahead and deploy those agents accordingly.
Yeah. It's also, I see here there are some questions about privilege access management. It's important to say that Atera agent gets root access. It operates as the system admin on a device, so it does not need the local user access permission. So any given action you would like to process or to streamline on the device, you are able to do it because you get the root access. There is no need for privilege access management. However, it's important to say that if you would like to manage some privilege access with Atera, so we support some cool integrations such as Keeper and some others that you will streamline both your IT and RMM as the privilege access management.
I want to address Vijaya's question regarding, so I can take 3 analysts and support 2,000 endpoints. Potentially, by using Atera's core platform, the answer is yes. And also regarding the Copilot, which is what Gilad has just showed. The Autopilot, which is the AI for end users, what I've shown a few minutes ago with the external portal, is priced per end user. So it's up to you if you would like to, take advantage of this add-on. But generally, in terms of Atera's core platform and the core concept of Atera, the answer is yes.
Great. I see there is a question here about Atera architectures. So Atera supports both a single tenant architecture and multi-tenant. It really depends whether you are an IT department, meaning you are an IT team that serves your company. So it will be a single tenant. However, our MSP and more prevalent environment is a multi-tenant. It's important to say that between customer to a customer, so a tenant to a tenant, they are logically separated and they are in complete silos. So we create all the boundaries that no information, both in the backend and the front end of Atera, will be supported. So there is complete separation between each tenant.
Great. I have another question that I was asked. Can I integrate my Microsoft Copilot license into Atera? So we're sorry for the confusion, as the names and the names of the add-ons are similar, but there is no integration. I mean, it's 2 different products. Atera has its own internal Copilot that is running internally. We're not sharing any information with Microsoft and vice versa. So it's not integrated into one. You can use your Microsoft Copilot license separately.
Yeah. There is a follow-up question here about implementing Atera into multiple organizations for a group of companies. And the answer is yes. With Atera, both environment, you are able to manage multiple sites, multiple locations, multiple networks, as well as we also support subnets. So if you have different networks under your private IP within a specific site, we will be able to support it. So yes, for multinational or multi-location companies, we are able to give you the best support, as Atera is a really powerful tool for you to manage all of your networks, all of your sites. Doesn't matter if they're in one place or scattered across the globe.
Let's quickly go over some additional questions as we're a bit running out of time, but there's a question, can we have a trial of Atera? So the answer is yes. There is a 30 days free trial of Atera, no credit card required. You can go ahead, deploy agents, add technicians, also take advantage of the Copilot. I will say, though, that the Autopilot, again, the AI for the end users, does not have a trial. But the other parts of Atera as a whole and Atera's Copilot they do have trials, and you will get the link to start the trial if you wish. Also, what's the ideal way to sign up with the AI assistant portal from the end user side? So as we said before, our Autopilot is omni-channel. So whether you're going to share with them this portal that you're going to custom the domain as a technician, and then those users can submit the ticket through the portal that I've shown before, or it can also integrate with Teams, Slack, email, whatever it is that you're currently using. We're here to make your life easier, not more complicated. But this will be, I mean, in terms of the onboarding of Autopilot, it's around a week to 2 weeks of sessions with our professional services team that will help you to customize and onboard and make sure that everything is integrated into place. So we will make sure that it's all handled by our teams of professionals.
Yeah, I see there was a question here about what type of devices we support. And it's important to stress that we support all operating systems, Mac, Linux, and Windows. In terms of devices, that could be workstations, laptop, servers, as well as VMs, as long as they have a operating system GUI. But we also support SNMP. SNMP devices could be any device that is connected via layer 2 with our Nmap scanning, we're able to bring you information about your printers, routers, server hosts, anything that runs on IoT. And regarding the questions about if Autopilot will be able to solve server problems, so Copilot will be able to solve server's problem because there is no person, there is no end customer from the server side. So the servers obviously cannot raise a ticket. However, your technician can raise a self ticket and solve the problem, whether from receiving alert that is relating to monitoring this specific server. So the question is, if we are able to troubleshoot server issues, the answer is absolutely yes. If we can monitor it, we can troubleshoot it as well. Maybe we will take one last question. Do you have any questions here? Do you see any question? Karen, one question before we go. Let's see.
I got a questions about if Atera also manage third-party software installations. So yes, you can completely manage patching through Atera as well. It's a complete suite for you. So whether it's to install any software that you want, to create software bundles, or also OS patches through Atera as well.
Great. One last question before we conclude this session. I see here we've been asked, can we use in cloud environment? So yes, not only Atera is a cloud-based solution, we support cloud environments. We support the full integration with your Entra ID or AD, Azure, as well as with Autopilot. We support all type of cloud environment, whether it's the Google Cloud or AWS or Azure. We will support all of them. We will be able to integrate with them, and we'll be able to help you streamline login issues and reset password from this specific environment with our Autopilot. Yes, the answer is yes. So I want to take the last minute we have here to thank you all for joining this APAC session, and to thank Karen for her amazing demonstration of showing the IT Autopilot.
And thank you, Gilad, for your amazing.
Thank you. And I want to reiterate that our partners, Connex, ITCG, Ask4Key, and Shivami, will reach out sometime in the next couple of days to you, asking for maybe if you would be interested in deepening the conversation with a trial, 30 days free trial, as well as demo. And again, it's important to say we have this exclusive pricing discount for you if you will get in touch with us with the next 60 days. And we will be also sending you the recording of this webinar in an email follow-up. So again, thank you guys for joining us this afternoon, and hoping, yes, sorry. Yes, Karen?
No, I was just saying, together with you, thank you very much to everyone, and hope you had an insightful session. And we are looking forward to speak with each one and any one of you very much soon.
All right, guys. Thank you again for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye-bye.